What's up, you guys? So it's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with a new video. And in this video, I'll be talking about Amerie. The Amerie returning to the music industry years after Beyonce allegedly stole her fashion style, her music producer, and her performance style. Now, I have to say this before we get started. Y'all know I don't make the news, I just report it, as Funky would say. And that's what has been said about both Beyonce and Amerie. And today we're going to be doing a thorough examination of the receipts of Beyonce copying Amerie outfits, producers, performing style, down to the shoes that she's wearing. We're going to get into all of that in this video. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Layla Lynn. I do celebrity news and nostalgia. Today we have a little bit of nostalgia. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Click the notification bell so that you don't miss a video. Click the thumbs up button if you like this type of content, and share this video on social media and in your group chats. So, although Amerie seemed to be poised for superstardom in the mid to early 2000s, there was a mix of label turmoil, creative recalibration, and new passions that led Amerie to step away from the music industry just as her peers, most notably Beyonce, were ascending to global icon status by recreating her looks, her sound, and her performance style. So, when her first album, All I Have, dropped in 2002, Amerie was a fresh face in a crowded field. Destiny's Child had just served its purpose as Beyonce's launching pad for her solo career. Alicia Keys was redefining soul music in her own way, and Mary J. Blige was reigning as the queen of hip hop soul. But Amerie carved her niche instantly with the hit Why Don't We Fall in Love, which was a sultry mid tempo song that showcased her vocals and her confident swagger, especially in the music video. And I remember in that music video for Why Don't We Fall in Love, the focal point was Amerie walking through the street with short shorts and red heels. And in fact, in most of the videos, she wore a white tank top, blue denim shorts, and red high heels. And she just walked. Let me see you walk, walk, walk. She just walked in the video. That was the focal point of the video. And that was in 2002. Then in 2003, when Beyonce came out with the video for Crazy in Love, she literally wore almost the exact same outfit, down to the color of the heels, red heels. And she just walked. She walked just like Amerie. And so while it could be a coincidence that Beyonce wore the same look as Amerie in her first solo single, what's not a coincidence is Beyonce using the same producer. Music producer Rich Harrison was the architect behind Amerie's very first album. Her debut, All I Have, which was released on Columbia / Rise / Richcraft, his label, was written and produced by Rich Harrison. And he created its signature mid tempo songs and served as the album's executive producer. And Amerie has said, quote, for some reason, we had a very special chemistry. When we would work together, something great would happen. From the outset, their shared vision was clear, and that was to combine soulful melodies with the hard hitting beats of hip hop. And Amerie said she and Rich Harrison, quote, knew that fusing beautiful melodies with hard hip hop beats would move people. And they were right. And their collaboration laid the groundwork for Amerie's signature sound. With Rich Harrison at the helm as both writer and producer, and Amerie writing and singing as well, their music showcased a duo in perfect creative sync. So you see Amerie as a solo artist, but really the music as a whole was a duo. And they continued to make music together after her first album. In 2005, Amerie's sophomore album, Touch, produced the club staple One Thing, again produced by powerhouse producer Rich Harrison. And back then, in the pages of Vibe and Billboard magazine, critics couldn't help but compare Beyonce and Amerie, who have virtually the same sound at the time. While Beyonce's pop R&B style climbed the charts, Amerie's go-go inflected R&B won her an ardent cult following that is still very much alive till this day. Till this day. So Rich Harrison's fingerprints on both One Thing and Crazy in Love only deepened the comparisons between Beyonce and Amerie. Amerie would laugh off questions about working with Rich Harrison as being Beyonce's secret weapon, saying, quote, "We both wanted that raw kinetic energy in our tracks, but I think he gave each of us exactly what we needed." And I have to say, that sounds like a professional way of saying that Beyonce wanted the sound that Amerie had. So Beyonce paid Rich Harrison for that sound, and she got it. Amerie also kept it cute about Beyonce working with Rich Harrison in a Revolt interview where she explained, quote, "There were so many artists who were trying to work with him. So, he's going to work with different artists. He's going to want to play some songs for me as his artist, right? But he's going to want to play some songs elsewhere because he's trying to grow and make his name as a producer." On a recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Amerie talked about the journey that she's been on as an artist and finally addressed those swirling rumors that Beyonce's breakout solo record, Crazy in Love, was a hit that producer Rich Harrison originally made for her. When asked if Crazy in Love was originally created for her, she said, quote, "I didn't hear anything about it, but a lot of people would be like, wait, that's not your record? Why didn't he give that record to you?" And I'm like, he never played that record for me. So, as far as what I can tell in my research, Amerie has never publicly accused Beyonce of copying her look or her sound, but the fans have noticed the similarities, even down to the way that they perform. Beyonce was the lead singer of Destiny's Child since its inception. But there's a big difference between performing as a group member and performing as a solo artist. And when Beyonce debuted as a solo artist in 2003, 1 year after Amerie, her performance style looked strikingly similar to Amerie, according to fans. Amerie, having lived in the DMV, shout out to the DMV, she relied heavily on percussion and on her band when she would perform. In her earliest performances, you could see Amerie carving out her signature style, and that was percussion first arrangements and a kinetic go go call and response, a band centric staging. And in 2003 and 2004, Beyonce began inserting similar percussive interludes into her Dangerously in Love tour, stripping back to raw live drums the same way as Amerie, almost as if she was inspired by Amerie and her performance style, in addition to her fashion and her producer. So let's fast forward as far as Amerie's career. Amerie's third album, Because I Love It, was a hit in Europe, but it became the poster child for what could go wrong when a label's distribution strategy goes wrong. Columbia Records struck an exclusive US CD distribution deal with Walmart and later FYE. And rather than shipping Because I Love It through the usual network of wholesalers and into chains like Best Buy, Target, or wherever music is sold, as they say, the album was sold only at Walmart beginning July 3rd, 2007, and then via FYE on January 15th, 2008. So, because most major retailers weren't part of that arrangement, they opted not to carry it, meaning, in practical terms, that Amerie fans couldn't just walk into their usual record store or big box store like Best Buy and just buy the album. So, the album did not chart at all. It did not make the top 200 albums chart, and it failed to register on Billboard's charts at all. And so by the time her fourth album, In Love and War, rolled around in 2009, Amerie and Columbia quietly parted ways. And rather than chase another major label deal where she risked being shuffled into projects that were not hers, it appeared that she chose to hit pause on her music career and focus on her other interests. And when she hit pause, she really hit pause. And she has revealed she didn't even listen to other music artists for 10 years. Amerie explained on the Joe Budden podcast, quote, "I went through like 10 years where I didn't listen to anything. If I heard someone's record and thought, damn, that's fire, I get mad at myself for not being ready to write something that good." So that avoidance of listening to other people's music could have been healing to her because by tuning out the industry noise, Beyonce's music included, she might have avoided the pitfall of what fans were doing, which was comparing herself and her success to other artists, namely Beyonce. So instead, it seems as if she allowed herself to hear her own voice. And rather than writing music, she discovered the power of storytelling through books. During her hiatus, she authored two anthologies of short fiction, and her debut novel, This Is Not a Ghost Story, is slated for release on June 10th of this year. And she also launched a book club vlog on YouTube and dove into beauty and lifestyle content and embraced motherhood after welcoming her first child in 2018 with her husband. Late in 2024, Amerie announced Mine, which is the first single that she has released in over a decade. And she shared a lot about the process of her recording her new album on her social media. So I will tell you guys this. I've listened to the song, I've listened to her first release, and I do think it sounds like signature Amerie. And I do have to say, I am a fan of Amerie. I'm still here. I'm still a fan. And to me, Amerie has a signature sound to her voice, not just the production of her songs, but to her voice. And she sings with like an urgency that I have always enjoyed. Like she's racing with the percussion to keep the beat, not just singing a melody over the beat, but keeping the beat with her voice in soprano. So I've always liked the way she sings. And I think her single Mine is her signature style. And so I left a link in the description box for y'all to listen to her first single in so many years. So y'all leave a comment, listen to her single, let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about the comparisons to Beyonce and her finally returning to the music industry after 10 years of like ignoring everybody else. Leave a comment, share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching. Now, if you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlists and my podcast, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.